Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's edition of the Just Us Review, where we like to take our favorite shows, whether it's in the realm of superheroes, supernatural, where it's super anything, break them down to give you guys that nit and that grit. You guys know about it now. If we like it, we love it. If we hate it, you're going to hear about it. So today is a special one because it is a one of two-parter. That's right. We're halfway through the season of The Boys, season 2, and we have some things to say about it. For the most part, season 1, I think we all agree kind of like it, although it had its bumps. And season 2 seems to be making its way along the same thing. So before we get started, I know it's only halfway through, but let's go around and everybody give their spiel about how they feel overall about the way the season is going. Go ahead, Christian.
Okay, so we're not doing good or bad or anything?
We are. I just want to give overall impressions.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say it like this. I am totally neutral. Oh, I'm sorry. I am totally neutral. I have no goods in regards to what's going on.
That's not neutral.
All right, while he looks up the definition, let's go ahead.
I know what I said.
How do you feel about the way the season is progressing?
Personally, I'm liking it. Butcher kind of seems more douchey than usual. so I'm on the rocks.
We got that ass.
I'm on the rocks, but I'm liking it so far.
Hold that vinaigrette. Now, as we come across the stage, what do you think, Seth?
So far, this is definitely. I think that they've toned it down as far as the outlandishness from season 1. I know that sounds hard to believe. But the outlandishness has kind of toned down, but it's still kind of that same roller coaster ride. So I'm gonna hang on for it.
I know what you mean. We had heads exploded and bodies hitting the floor, but they, like you said, they did turn it down, but way down from the comic books. What about you?
I'm not gonna lie. So far, so good for me. I mean, there's some things that could be worked out, but I think so far I'm liking it more than season 1. And I liked season 1.
With me, there's some twists and turns. Some things I like, some things I don't. But you know what? Let's go ahead and jump right into that. We're going to focus on the goods. What are the good parts about the first 4 episodes, that makes you keep coming back for the show? Who wants to pick up the baton?
I've already said that I have no goods.
Okay, then.
T Breezy, pick it up.
Easy. Okay. What I did like is that what's his name? Huey isn't too much of a bitch as he was last season, except in episode 4. But I like that we got to delve more into Kimiko's and Frenchie's relationship, and how we get more insight onto MM's antics, and the habits that he has, and how he needs to have control over things. And I like that we got to see more of Butcher and his wife. And I said I like that we got to see more of it. I never said I like the situation.
Okay, well, hold on. I have one good. but we'll get to that in a bit.
And I also, I liked the part where Homelander is trying to, get him to have a relationship with his son, and he thinks it's going to be easy, and he's just like, nope, my mom taught me better. And and he got pushed. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was good.
Okay.
And that was it.
Well, who else wants to go next with the good? I actually have a couple of goods to throw in there.
Go for it.
One good is, I love the character. Although he's evil, and my thing is one of the best parts of any story is the antagonist. And I think that Homelander fits that role to a T. I love how evil he is, and that there's no rhyme or reason to it as of yet. He just exists in a world where being a human is lesser than. And what he sees is that people, what he sees in the people, or the quote-unquote supers around him, is that either you meet his expectations or you don't. One of the greatest moments, even though this was a horrible moment, is when he's talking with his son, and he's like, look, why are you pretending to be less than you are? And it was irritating him, and he was like, you are a god. And he was like, I don't know why you're holding back. You could be ruling the world like me. So,
God complex.
Question: Who did that not Superman movie with the little boy?
you talking about? I think that was James Gunn.
Okay, never mind.
So yeah,
Not Superman movie?
Brightburn.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of the aspects I liked about it, that we have a pure villain, and everybody knows when the villain eventually gets taken down or satiated, that's a euphoric feeling for everybody who's watching.
Piggyback? Can I piggyback?
Go for
on
it.
you? I think there's even more deeper tones to that too. One of the things that I see is that he's also feeling that way because of the fallout of season 1, where he was a god and he didn't have control. And even in season 2, for a little bit, like, he didn't have that control. And so he went to the one place where at that time he had control, which was go to my son and threaten his mom. And he's sitting up there like, you like me, you could be doing this too. Like, I've set myself free now. And because he's never been a human before, he doesn't know. You know, if this was in a more positive tone, it would be a good thing that he's setting his son free.
Exactly.
But because it's him,
It's just
it speaks to, sorry to cut you off, but it speaks to the morality thing.
Mhm.
So the morality clause. I mean, yeah, he's Superman.
Mhm.
If Superman decided to just decide not to hold back, like, who's going to stop him?
Mhm.
Not Batman.
as this blasphemer shits. So go ahead, finish.
But at the same time, it's like, yes, we do want to see a character try to push themselves to be the most them that they can be, be whole. And I do like that is Homelander's arc, and he is the antagonist, but we can ride with him a little bit because he's not the main antagonist. We have someone who's going to be a bigger threat than him, and that's why we can I don't want to say sympathize or empathize, but we can see the picture a little bit clearer.
Another good that I have, and let me ride this line carefully when I say this. Okay, the way they portray someone in a situation that they have no control, and they try to do the best that they can. So it's a horrible situation that his wife is in, but I think it's a portrayal that I don't think I've seen before, especially in media, where you have a person, a victim, who's being held up by their captor, but at the same time you have this person that you love who's tied up in the mix. So that whole triangle of, I love Billy, and that's who my past was, and I would love to be with him, but Billy is an asshole who sees my child as a threat, and I'm being held here against my will, and I can't run because I love my son so much that I will sacrifice the old me to be with him, even though he's a product of violence. So the way that they tell that story, even though I think they handle it with great care, to the fact that they don't demoralize any, especially the victim of it.
It's not childish.
Exactly. They handle it in an adult way, in a careful way, that it's not,
Immature.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
So that's one good aspect I love about the show. Like, I've never seen this side told from this perspective in the medium, and I appreciate that.
I don't even know if I would call this pushing back, but maybe this would just be an added addendum. Because what I see from that is, I think it speaks volumes that she would rather, because she proved that her and her son had the ability to run. They could have dipped. But I think it speaks volumes that she would rather stay and risk Homelander coming back than leave with Billy.
But my thing is, with what you're saying,
and what I got from that is, even though Homelander was coming around, fucking with us and stuff like that, that wasn't an abusive relationship. The relationship I was in with you was an abusive relationship.
well, on both points, one, they both could have been abusive.
Mhm.
We obviously know that the Homelander one is abusive because
I think she said that. Not that he was physically or verbally abusive.
they're like mentally abusive.
Toxic.
Exactly. Mentally, people, and that's what some people forget in the relationship. Mentally abusive can be just as damning as physical abusive. You can break down somebody to the point that they don't want to
She
fight back.
basically said that he was always like 1 second or one bad moment away from having a bad day or some shit
Exactly.
like that. And I wish someone else that he was close with would say that shit to him, but you know, we'll get to that.
But then, and another thing we got to bring to the mix is
I just wanted to say I didn't see it as that she'd rather risk Homelander coming back than being with Billy. Is that she loves Billy too much and she loves her son too much, and she knows how Billy feels about superpowered people, and her son is a superpowered person, and she said, can you honestly look me in the eye and tell me that you wouldn't find some way to get rid of my son?
because he's a POS, piece of shit.
He didn't even take long to be like, "Whoa."
What are you talking about? I don't do that.
What? I would kill your son. Why are you cocking the Glock? But, you know,
Is he here?
I just want to talk to him.
and the second element that I want to bring to this is also like Stockholm syndrome. We don't know how much on a mental level she's affected by this, the fact that Homelander is there, because she's afraid that, mind you, it's a godlike presence. He can be anywhere at any time that he wants to be.
And that's actually, I like that. It's a bad situation, but I like how they do that in this show. It's tension when Homelander is around.
Exactly.
No matter where he goes.
So I don't know if I would call that Stockholm syndrome though, because I feel like that's something you got to develop over
She had
time.
fallen in love with him.
No. Well,
It's more like coming around for like a few weeks.
Well,
It's more.
there's levels to it because
So here's the thing: it's more like she's playing a game, as it were, and she's trying to make the right moves that she sees fit. Not just, but the thing is, she's not just doing it for herself. She has a kid to worry about too.
And she was doing it for Billy because Homelander was gonna kill him on her front porch, and she said, "If you hurt Billy, I'll kill myself in front of my son, and then he'll never want to be around you because I'll tell him that you did this to me."
So like I said, going in, I like the angle that they go into that. Another good that I like is anybody else have another good?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw it out there. I like Stormfront's introduction.
I guess so.
It was written well. It was portrayed well. Is throwing something from the cultural zeitgeist in your face and then twisting it in a way that was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, you can see it coming, you can see it. If you're in tune to certain parts of our culture, not everyone knows what Stormfront is. I'll just throw that out there. Not the common person knows what Stormfront is. So to attach that name to a superhero, you're like, okay, she's Storm. She's Storm. She can fly and throw lightning.
Yeah, but she's also a defender, and that's kind of what her name means, right? Like, I'm going to protect this vicinity.
Yeah.
And so I did like her introduction. I liked her name. And I was all for her up until the point where she was killing those innocent people in the building, and I was like, oh, those innocent people are black people.
So
I don't like where this is going.
So here's the thing. Do you know there's another terminology? There's another meaning to Stormfront.
What is it?
Not the common person knows this. Stormfront was adopted by like neo-Nazis or something like that.
Oh.
There's like whole websites and stuff based off of this. So her introduction to the common person is, okay, she's just another superhero who is telling a man off, and she's a feminist, and it's like...
Not just that, of course, she's from Seattle, and what is Seattle known for?
The progressive, fighting for, far...
Left-wing liberalism to a more extreme point.
Yeah, radical
leftism.
Yeah, to flip it on his head, it turns out she's actually all-right neo-Nazi.
And that's another. Can I piggyback off that?
Yeah.
And I love that introduction too, because she's taking a medium, and she even said this before when she was talking to Homelander and he didn't catch it. He was like, "It took me a while, but I finally figured out that I had to change with the times," which means that she's been around long enough to figure out which way the wind blows. And she told him, she's like, "Yeah, you got a bunch of supporters. I got 5 dudes with laptops pumping memes," which pretty much, I don't have to control the world. I just need to control the mob.
Control the narrative.
Exactly. And that is such a profound look, because she's like, I don't have to attack you directly. I can just get people to do it on my behalf, and that speaks out to outrage culture. That speaks out to cancel culture. That speaks out to mob mentality. So I thought it was real deep with her introduction. Eventually, yeah, we know who she is, but then that also tells us, okay, stop. Wait a second. Think about this in a real life perspective. We're not considering what's the engine behind these things that causes us these triggers that make us outrage. So I thought that was a brilliant move when introducing her, that she would take the doctrines of current society and use it against the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was brilliant.
I also think she is a direct commentary to white women that voted for Donald Trump, but got on TV and acted like, oh, we're pro-feminist and blah, blah, blah. And then
We're going to go protest against Trump after he gets elected, after we help get him in.
Another good that I have is the decline of A-Train, because and the reason why I like this is because now he gets the realization that what he's only being used for as a workhorse. And this is spinning off from last season where we see that his leg's broken and he's in the shop and he's shopping and the security guard rolls on him and he's like, you not know who I am? My posters are in the store. And then he's seeing how dispensable he is on the team and that he's just a workhorse. And even to the point where Homelander is trying to defend himself on the reporter side, he's like, yeah, we're diverse. We have a black guy, and Maze is a lesbian, and it's like, and that's what's quintessential to you saying, hey, this person is a racist, and it's like, no, I have a black friend. Let me name them for you. So that one was telling in itself, and I thought that was a great introduction to bring, and another layer to how Homelander's trying to keep up this Clark Kent facade, and that's what I think. Like his Clark Kent is the face that he shows to the world, so he can bring them in and rein them in.
He wants to be loved and he wants to be admired, and this is another thing that Stormfront said. She's like, you have fans, I have soldiers. So I don't have to have people love me. I just need to get them angry about something. You want to have people love you.
And one thing we did forget is that Homelander has lost his comfort zone. Mm-hmm. He lost his one area where he can be weak, and which was that lady with the titty milk. And when titty milk lady went sour, he was like, I really don't have a safe place of refuge anymore. So even this fake one that I create for myself doesn't do it anymore. And that's when he killed fake titty milk lady. But any more goods?
Which was hilarious to me because, like, I'm sorry. Let's get this out. When he walked in there, I'm sorry, but
When Homelander walks in, or
when Homelander walks in at the end of episode 4,
Yeah.
and I would think that if you're a metamorphing, superpowered individual, not that it's a power, but you should know how to read the room. Because he told you twice, nah, I ain't cool with it no more.
So you should have just left.
You should have morphed back to yourself and been like, oh, so the arrangement is done? Alright, dap them up and left.
I'm gonna call a lift, it's outside, bye.
But no, in the back of your mind is, he will want to suck his own dick. Let me make that happen. Another good that I have is the decline of Aqualad. What's the name?
The Deep.
Sure.
I don't know where that.
No. This is why I don't like.
There is no decline.
He was always down here.
There is no decline. We'll get to that when we get to the bad, because I got a lot of shit to say.
Let me
Another good I'd say is Black Noir.
Oh,
He doesn't talk. I like him. I think he's
Black Noir is a low rent Deadpool. So
Damn.
but let me get to the deep right quick. I like the decline because the reason why I like this area that he's in, because it shows like everything that they do is kind of mirroring what's happening in today's society. What happens when somebody gets in trouble?
They clean up their image.
They try to clean up their image. They try to find God or some form of religion, and then they try to find a partner that will help coincide with that clean image. All that they're doing to try to do is damage control with him. And I thought that was a great mirror into itself, because it finally took this for him to do some self-reflection to figure out that he's a scumbag.
So, are we done with the
Wait, hold up.
Just say you like the whole show.
Going back to Black Noir.
No, because it's not that, you know, of his fighting skills, it's that we see the personality in his actions or like the way he tilts his head. I see it anyway. Like in the first episode when he kills one of the soup terrorists and then he picks
Super
up...
villain.
I said what I said.
Bro, Joe, I ain't harder
And then, you know, he picks up the dog. And so...
One eye was over here, and the other one twitched, and I was like, I think I broke her.
I think I know why she's back.
But I would get it's like miming in a sense.
Yeah.
You're telling the story through your body movements and the way he's
Oh, carries body.
exactly. And he does I don't know who that character the guy is.
That's a black guy.
Yeah,
He's doing an amazing job as Noir because
that's really where I was going with it, but you just summed it up. Thank you. All right, the bands, right?
one more good. Sorry.
Jesus.
We're gonna get there. But one more good that I have, and I'm gonna make it real quick, is the one Gus from Breaking Bad. What's his name?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito. God damn, it's a bomb ass name.
Giancarlo.
Okay.
Yeah,
For the people
Giancarlo.
who haven't seen Breaking Bad.
So Giancarlo's the dope dude who should be playing
Everything.
Mr. Freeze. So when Giancarlo's and Homelander get to talk,
Ooh, that was a nice.
that was a nice moment right
Like,
there.
first of all.
Like
His entire conversation summed up to, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
But then later in episode 4, Homelander got some clapback. And he was like, you know what? It's not about these punk ass corporations. He said, so you want to get spicy? Okay, cool.
Homelander was feeling himself.
He balls in hand. He
Right,
was-
because they were all playing on the fact that they didn't know what the thing was, even though they've been peddling it for months, maybe even years. But yeah, I do like his character, and I did like how before when Homelander was saying, "Oh, you're gonna tell me anything," he's like, first of all, I'm gonna have to tell you shit. You're in my office."
I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out.
He came up to my floor.
Exactly.
And we finally got a little backstory of Mother's Milk. Now let's get some to the bads.
Well, first of all, I got questions. Are those stories true?
I thought that, I was like, he lying. I don't know which one's the lie.
I feel like he says stuff just to make the other people feel at ease,
Mhm.
and that might be his special ability. Like, you know, everyone has their thing.
Yeah, so he sold the shit out of it because I believed him.
And shout out to Homegirl from a different world.
Who?
Don.
Oh, that was my girl. All right, now that we've gone through the goods, let's go ahead and break it apart. What was a part of this that devastated us? Okay, everybody, hold back for 2 seconds. I need to get this out. Bill the Butcher.
No, we're not doing that
Are we
yet.
gonna start? We're gonna start with the superheroes.
Because I have a whole thing planned.
Okay.
Let's start with the superheroes and then go into
No, we're not doing that either. Because I gotta say this because it kicks off everything. The problem that I have. This whole problem kicks off all the smaller problems.
Okay.
So everybody, shut up. I'm gonna put this out here. I think the show has hit a wall.
What is that wall?
That wall is we've milked this. What is Superman or Justice League but assholes? Like, okay, we've seen that. What do you got for me next?
Well, I can push back on that a little bit, but I'll let you keep going.
And the only thing they could give me next was a worse Superman, a worse evil Superman.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I think they've done it better in other productions.
I'm pushed back on that as well.
Okay.
Because, like I said, as far as my good, as far as her introduction, this is a character that the end character people are rooting for. We know that she's a villain, a worse villain than our main antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not exactly who are we rooting for, even though the show is making us do that. Because now we want Homelander to win.
Okay, but
because not that she's just worse.
I want
It's
Rose to die.
yes, that's very. But who's gonna kill her?
Well,
So here's the thing.
I want Kimiko to do it.
So here's the thing.
Because she can't die.
It's not about who we're root. It's not about Chief clap. On the
She was. But I think the anger from her brother's death is gonna like fuel her more.
So here's my thing.
To take another ass whooping.
No.
So here's my thing. It's not necessarily about who we're rooting for. It's about what you can show us. And like I said, I think they've shown us all that they can.
I think they did.
and be unique.
I think they've done something unique. It's a villain that you can't outright just say this is a villain. You need to prove that this is a villain.
Okay, they did that in Injustice.
Who watched Injustice?
Apparently, a lot of people, because that shit pumped out some fucking sequels. Talking about the game. The game. They've done that, and the comic.
Nobody plays the game for the story mode.
They've done that in several. Marvel has done it across the board with the Sentry and Hyperion.
You know about the Sentry and Hyperion?
A lot of people know about the Sentry.
Yeah, but the general audience don't.
But I'm just saying that I feel like they hit a wall in that regard.
Let me put it to you like this.
Uh-huh.
Who all read the Boys comic book?
I didn't read that shit.
Nobody read that shit. How many people are watching this damn show? More people watching the show than read that damn comic book.
But that's all. But I mean, that's obvious because how many comic books sell?
But that's the goal. They met the mark.
Well, someone need to tell that to Warner Brothers. They shut down all the studios. And they content make more than everything.
We're going way on top. Okay.
What were we talking about again?
Okay.
The point I was trying to make is you gave me season 1. Okay, that's cool. What else you got? Evil Superman block. What else you got? Even worse, Evil Superman. Didn't we do this already? And
I
look,
didn't see her as an evil Superman at all.
can you kick her ass? If you clapping her?
No.
You not?
What I'm saying is there's like a huge difference between evil Superman, aka Homelander, and Stormfront. I think I see what you're trying to say with them, both being superpowered people with kind of like a god complex, thinking that they're better than everybody. But I think it's different mainly because what was I saying? Stop. It's different mainly because she's not trying to be loved by everybody and do what she wants to do in the dark. She's trying to get everybody mad so that she can do what she wants to do in the light and no one can question her.
What difference?
She's fighting on a different level.
What different? So
to the show's credit.
So here's the thing. Why does evil have levels?
Because
evil
it's called nuance.
Evil,
Exactly.
But evil is evil regardless.
No,
yes, it is.
There's a difference between.
Yes, it is.
There's a difference between a person snatcher and a murderer. Both of them.
And they're both evil.
But
see, here's the thing.
No.
Your comparison doesn't even matter because of the fact that Homelander isn't snatching purses. He's snatching people's fucking heads off. and Stormfront's doing the same thing. It doesn't matter if she goes on Twitter and blah, and Homelander is going out and doing rallies and shit. It's still an evil Superman. And then you bought in another evil Superman, and spoiler alert, Black Noir is another evil Superman.
No.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, like there's levels with everything. There's like you said.
There's no levels to evil.
Yes, there is.
Like there's evil.
Okay. If I throw trash on the ground, which is littering, that's bad. If I kill
Says
someone, it's littering.
It's society.
Society, and we agree as society that that's bad. If I jaywalk, that's literally a crime. That's me walking against the light. But by your definition,
who's the victim in those
doesn't
crimes?
matter. Those are crimes.
Who? By who?
You just said all evil is evil.
That's not evil.
Right. If you're
You know what
and you know
genuine-
that jaywalking can cause someone to swerve out of your way and crash, and then someone swerves out of your way and crash. And
Okay,
and
then
a
you
little
didn't
baby
go
dies
to
in the
driving
backseat.
school. A, B.
No, because if you're not supposed to be walking through traffic in the first place, and you know that the effects of you
Are
walking
runaway
through
slaves
traffic.
evil?
See, and that's why I said there's nuance.
But see that, and that's where you fucked up, because you're basically saying that that slave is evil for running away.
I'm not saying
Well, I
that.
didn't say that.
But you're talking about nuance,
Yeah,
and my
that's why-
thing is
that's
where's
that's
answer his question, are runaway slaves evil?
No. Well, wait up. By my logic, no. By the logic of the times that they lived in, that was bad because slaves were seen as property, and that's property leaving. So by that definition of the society that we lived in, yes, that was bad. By a moral standpoint to me, no, it's not.
So here's the
Case
thing.
in point, American Revolution. The Americans were technically traitors.
Here's the thing.
You don't get to say this one.
Here's the thing about what you saying and what you saying. The thing about that is if you're gonna use the subject of jaywalking and littering as breaking crimes and saying rather that's evil than or not, then what you're saying is you're putting a morality on all crime. And that's why I brought up the slavery comparison, because if we agree that runaway slaves aren't considered evil because they broke the law, then what the evil he's getting at is Homelander and Stormfront aren't doing anything that is debatable, whether it's evil or not, or in a different time. It wouldn't be a law if evil or not. They're outright doing things that, unless you a fucking edgelord, you can pretty much say, yeah, that's evil.
First of all, I'll put it like this. You're looking at Homelander and Stormfront as people.
Mm-hmm.
Homelander and Stormfront are ideologies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're bigger than just people we see on TV. They're systems.
So you're saying you wanted something different than
Like,
just
I think you want to watch a different show.
than just a female, racist, homophobic version of Homelander.
No, I'm saying if you were gonna give me another evil Superman, my thing is you already did that.
Okay.
We have an evil Superman. Just stick with the one that you have.
Okay.
But instead, you wanted to do this, and then you wanted to do several other things that honestly bogged the show down and pad the show for me. For example, the Aquaman shit. The joke is old. It's done. The Aquaman water boy useless shit. That shit is done. And everything that he shows up in to pad out the episode is pointless.
So,
I wouldn't say it's pointless. I think his efforts
We
kind
spent
of
the-
futile because he's an asshole.
We spent an episode where he talked to his gills. It wasn't funny, it was padding.
No,
You wasted.
it was a moment of self-discovery.
I don't
Yeah.
fucking care.
No.
They played it off to be funny.
No.
They gave the gills a silly ass voice that you can laugh at and shit. It was not funny.
the point
It
of-
was padding.
The point of the gills was self.
I don't care what the point is. It was
Supposed to
padding.
be a moment where he's trying to accept himself.
I don't care. So this character is
Alright,
done.
so just because you don't care about it doesn't mean that situation was useless.
Here's the thing, and I can side with you a little bit on that. It's supposed to be a moment of self-reflection, but they literally gave those gills a funny, silly voice, and they framed it in a way
Okay,
that you're
he was
supposed
on
to.
drugs. Were you expecting it?
And that's the point I'm trying to make. If it's a self-reflection or whatever, first of all, I'm not going into this thinking about self-reflection. You wanted to riff with your body or whatever the fuck and make it be funny, and it's not funny. I'm concerned about this other shit that's going on that obviously is failing me as well, but all of that shit is padding. I don't care about the Scientology bullshit. I don't care about that character. He was fucking done in season 1.
Okay.
So
I mean,
Am I lying?
No, I don't like the deep arc.
here's the deal.
But he's still a character on the
He
He
show.
Exactly.
is, and I think he does have a part to play in the end. Now that he's trying to fix up his image and get back into the
I don't
It's taking too long.
I don't think.
It's
wait,
taking too long.
Wait. I don't think the point was to try to get us to like him again. I think the wait. Let me finish. I think the point was to just show us. We're doing as the story progresses where he currently is. Now here's the problem. He was a member of the Seven. He was a focal point of the first season. So it's like, you know what? Don't throw him away. Let's see where the story goes. And we don't know how this is going to circle back around into the main story. We're only in season 2. But my thing is, we don't know how that's going to play out.
So here's the thing. You saying it as in, the point is not to like him. I don't care about that. That is not my point. My point is you have a story or two that we are supposed to be following that is supposed to be the most compelling shit, which is the shit going on with the boys and the shit going on with Homelander.
There's multiple story threads going.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not Homelander's show. It's the Seven, and so we got to see what is going on.
He's not part of the Seven anymore. The Deep isn't part of the Seven anymore. His story is done.
Officially, he is but in the group he is done. But officially, to the public, he is still a part of the Seven.
So-
his statue is still in Vought Tower.
Okay, and so is Lamplighters and Translucent. I don't care.
But yet we're still going to get stories about Lamplight and Soldier Boy.
So Soldier Boy went in the film.
No. I'm saying we're still going to get their stories.
So here's my thing, and this is my whole thing about what's his name?
Which one?
Aqualad?
The
The
Deep.
Deep. This is my whole thing about him, and why I personally wish they would just be done with him. Because let's take another member of the Seven who's having a downfall, and that's A-Train. They are not playing A-Train up comedic, but they're surely doing it with the Deep. And not that I'm trying to put one above the other, but the Deep, the shit that the Deep did to get him kicked out, and the shit and the stuff that they're trying to show us to like bring him back around and stuff, I feel like they're making a joke out of it, especially considering, I'll say it, being in the Me Too times. And they're taking A-Train shit seriously, and I don't have a problem with that. I think they're doing that very well. But what the Deep is like, considering the stereotype of you got the only black character on your team taking drugs, but continue.
That's another level. I don't think they want to take a comedic angle with the only black guy that you did feed drugs. Keep going.
But what I was getting at is, you would think that you wouldn't pull that in a post Me Too world when it comes to content. That because that tells me, oh, you think Me Too and the nature of that is a joke.
Okay, we're about to get into some more bads. Who has a bad for us?
You have? Oh,
Please, let me just no more. Okay. My biggest bad is you know what? It's not my biggest bad. It's a moderate bad. It's the boys as a group. Yeah. Minus Billy because he's separate from my issue.
You got a long category.
Make sure you tag me in on this one.
Okay. Get ready because it's like a baton pass. So I guess I'm at this point where, for me, it's like, y'all need to get y'all shit together. And I don't mean get y'all shit together as in get, like prepare because they gotta fight the Seven, or prepare because of this and that or whatever. Like, get some balls. Get some fucking balls. Y'all, I am so goddamn tired of. I'm gonna go down the line, starting with Mother's Milk.
I need someone to elaborate.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I just need to-
So I'll sum it up in one scene. At the beginning of episode 2, where Butcher came back and Frenchie couldn't wait to wrap his lips around his cock. And then he starts giving out orders like he's been there the whole time, despite the fact he fucking abandoned them. And then everybody just except for Huey, just started doing what the fuck he said.
I didn't like that
and then Butcher was like, he said something along the lines of, "They my bitches, they'll follow me wherever I go."
Wait, Pretty was like, "Daddy's home." I gotta give that real. Wait. I gotta give that real snarky. I smell my old shit. Look, Daddy's.
And then Mother's Milk, the biggest motherfucker there, that could fold this nigga like he wasn't shit. Just sat there and started doing what the fuck he said.
Yeah,
but that's the fucking problem that I have with the boys.
I think it all boils down to the fact that none of them, that Butcher brought them all together, and so Butcher was supposed to be leading the team. Yes, he abandoned them, and last season at the end they were all like, "Oh fuck Butcher, we can do all this by ourselves."
But were they like fuck Butcher because now they want to fuck Butcher? Because before, when Huey was finally going through puberty and he was like, "No, we need to do it this way," and then Mother's Milk getting all in his face, "No, I'm just gonna sit here and work on my dollhouse," and then Billy comes back and then he's like, "All right, guys, let's get it together. Billy's here, William's here," and then. I'm sorry, kid. I know I'm giving you blue balls. Just let me finish. And then they're like, okay, we're going to do what Billy does and what Billy says. And then they get in the tunnel. And then after all that bullshit, Billy's like, all right, we're going this way. And then they go stand around like one of those dumbass fake, I don't know what you call them, where they're like, no. And then they just stand there and he's like, what the fuck? I said, come on, do what I say. And then,
and then he leaves them again to go chase after his.
And thank you for bringing that up because I was getting to that. Because when all the shit's done, he's like, all right, like to get them to help him, he's like, come on, guys, if we do this, I get your wife back, you get your family, and everybody else, we're free. And then he's like, I ain't gonna see my wife, peace out, bitches. And then they're like, what the fuck, dude? And then he's like, and then he goes up to Mother's Milk and he's like, all you gotta do is call up home girl and just do all, you know, she may make you do a couple of jobs, but if you want that PS5, you'll do it. And then, like, what the fuck? You promised him his family would get back.
Go.
Okay. Let's start with Huey.
You know that actor is 28.
The boy looked 40.
So let me with Huey, let me say this first. To be fair, he honestly at that point when Butcher came back, the most useful person in the group.
And I'm granted, I will say that. That's why I'm about to get into what I'm about to say. So, Huey's literally been the only person with a plan, and only person would follow through, while everybody's walking around with a finger in their ass, especially Mother's Milk. Ooh, I think I'm gonna put a drawer in this for somebody who's desperate to get in his family, you know.
He wasn't doing nothing.
So now we're back to Huey. Huey got a game plan. He's working co-ops, and then Billy shows up, and his testicles reset back into his body. And Huey has this look on his face like his lunch money got stole, and he ain't gonna do nothing about it. He's like, ugh. And I was like, you killed the man. So all that innocent shit is out the window.
Exactly.
You gonna let him schoolyard punk you after you were the first person to kill a super, the only person to kill a super, and you gonna let this musty motherfucker come in? Daddy's home. Granted, he didn't drop to his knees like Mother Milk and Frenchie. By the way, Frenchie's the most useless motherfucker who might as well be muddle mouth.
Sidebar, we just do cocaine now? Where did that come from?
How about we flash forward to the part where
we knew from the beginning of season 1 that he was into drugs.
No. How about we flash forward for a second to when he tries to sexually assault Kimiko? Like he tries to.
She's a mute, so it doesn't matter. She's not people.
And then when they asked why'd you try to attack her, he's like, I just wanted to make her feel good.
Wait,
I was like, what kind of sideways rapist shit? What? What? I just wanted to make her feel. Her brother just died, and your first instinct is put your dick in her.
And that was his friend's whole point.
And
It's just like, let the girl grieve. Don't try to make her feel better because sex makes you feel better. Don't try to move in on her.
Don't try to rape your best friend. Hold on. Let's roll the dice back. Because I want to get to the point where Kimiko, the girl you riding and die for, the girl you trying to understand, and you literally hear Bill the Bitcher talk about how he's gonna turn, he will kill her if she get in the way.
Like,
and you
There
no one.
was no defense. There was no if you even try, I'll fucking kill you. You were just like,
And to your thing about Huey, where Huey bitched up, I can kind of understand that because the rest of the motherfuckers didn't have his back for shit.
But here's my thing, but for Frenchie to sit there and bitch up when a woman you love is about to get murdered by this hobo?
Exactly.
I tested to me when you said
And I understand Kimiko probably don't understand a lot of stuff that's going on. But on principle alone, I'm like, you didn't even defend me when that motherfucker said he would kill me. Yeah, fuck no.
The fact that he didn't walk up, slap the phone out of his hand, and put foot in ass show how much of a hoe Frenchie is.
And it was Huey that tried to stop Butcher from killing her brother, even though Frenchie realized.
Frenchie didn't dive in for exactly.
Right, and he realized the importance in the first place. He was the first one who realized.
So now back to the boys and why they suck ass.
Let me say something real quick.
I gotta get this out of me.
Okay.
So they sitting around, and then not until later in the first episode did I realize that they all dude had Bill the Butcher's number. That Bill the Butcher just didn't want to come there. So I was like, let me get this straight. I'm gonna tag you in. So he knows that you guys are in dire straits. He knows that you guys are away from your family and being hunted. And he doesn't even reach out to try to coordinate, only to when he needs something does he reach out to you, and you know this because he shows up on the front porch with
He waited till homegirl died when they went to go meet her because that was Huey's plan because no one else was thinking of shit.
No. Huey's plan was to get the information out, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna touch my contact. You guys better be lucky you have me. And then her head blew up, and now he comes to them dick in hand. Oh, by the way, my wife's been alive. And then both Frenchie and Mother's motherfucking milk break down. It's like, oh, your wife is alive. Motherfucker, she got a wife.
Like, who is that bitch to y'all? For one thing, hey.
Go ahead.
Okay, and then what really pissed me off when they on the boat, and then I can't blame Huey for this, but I'm gonna blame him for this because he's still going through puberty, and he's talking to Billy. That should have been Mother's Milk working Billy's face in.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me a piece of this second. I just want the corner. So you guys are trying to hide from the FBI because everybody's out to get you. And you still on fucking boat? You still on fucking yacht?
And this is my thing. Y'all know Billy by now. If that motherfucker went to get the boat, you know he didn't get it legally. And then y'all looking sideways when the fucking FBI roll up. It's like, Billy, what did you do?
First of all,
I got me fucking boat. I didn't say I got legally. Like, what the fuck?
He looks like
That's Billy. I don't give a fuck.
he looks like
You don't have to defend that. He's Australian.
I got the fucking boat. I didn't get it legally.
He looks like he eats grilled cheese sandwich from the bottom of the trash can. And then that limp dick sex scene between him and his wife. So let me get his wife.
Wait, who we talking about?
When he meets.
Oh, yeah. That should let you know she didn't want to come home with you because she didn't take you back to the house and smash.
And she take her shirt off.
And not to mention, that don't really say much about her standards because he literally came in there smelling like cocaine and trash and well guts and still let her dick her down.
Defense, there were cameras all over the house, so she could not take him back to the house.
So
Okay, but this motherfucker could have took like a shower.
Where?
And maybe they couldn't fuck on.
Where?
And maybe they couldn't fuck on the Dawson's Creek Bridge. So,
There's got to be like 12 Radissons in between where he was at and where the boys was at. He could have stopped at a Radisson and took a shower and kept it moving.
In an enclosed society?
no. He's the
No.
Walls
He
around.
could have took a shower on the way.
No,
Is what I'm
here's
saying.
a question. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is mother's milk clean?
Is he clean?
Yeah.
He looks clean.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he
cool.
looks
That's
clean.
what- okay,
He got a
okay.
new
He
fucking
uses
t-shirt
wet
every day.
Okay,
He uses wet
okay.
wipes.
Then just is Hugh? Does he look clean?
We saw him wash.
Clean.
Okay. Does Kimmy Cole kind of look clean?
Yeah.
There's no excuse, Bill, to Butch. Looking like an infected toenail.
Fucking Frenchie went to someone else's house who probably has a shower. So there's no excuse for him not to be clean. Billy Butcher comes in like, I'm just gonna wear the same coat that I used as a condom.
Her brother got off a refugee boat. Looking back clean.
Exactly. He took a shower.
Look immaculate. This motherfucker come out looking like Oscar the Grouch.
Like
Oh, so she should be home.
And that's where my biggest complaint comes in. That's the whole thing that's bringing this down. I cannot sit here and follow all of these assholes that aren't even charming enough to keep me around. Because if it's not the Aqua Boy shit, it's watching Billy the Butcher sniff his own dick meat.
The part that kills me is, I want to go back to
In Mother's Milk simp. The only time the show is worth watching is when fucking Homelander comes on the scene.
Wait,
if
hold on.
Homelander isn't in the scene, I'm like, where's Homelander?
Going back to Mother's Milk, and this is the part that really pissed me off in episode 4. Because the militant side of them is there. Mm-hmm. And we saw when he went to that woman's house and he was like, look, you know, my dad was for the cause. He was down for taking superheroes. I inherited that mantle. And now it's time for me to do whatever I can to bring him down. And I was like, God damn, what the fuck is this Mother's Milk when Billy the Butcher's around?
Exactly. Two more bads I got.
I'm gonna go back to Huey. Like, I get, you know, you've been through a lot. You blew someone up, but from a bomb in their butthole. You've been doing all of this, and it's been taking a mental toll on you. So we see that you're having a mental break, but you're gonna stay inside the dead whale that you just ran.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna stay here.
And that's again, this show trying to be funny, and I'm like, you're not funny.
Like,
Just stop.
you're in a dead whale. But you're gonna stay there to wait for the superheroes to come, who will more than likely kill you.
Well,
They were doing a shtick.
No. It was a mental breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that he was having a mental breakdown, but I'm like, so you're
Because
gonna.
they still wanted to play it off as funny because he was sitting inside of a fucking whale.
So okay,
I got a couple of things.
I said it in a minute.
I don't know what y'all expected from this show. I mean, just put it like this: the show as itself wants you to root for certain people. These are not the best people doing anything that they're doing. The boys are not the best people to be saving the world.
So then why should I be rooting for
The
them?
7 are not the best
Because
outstanding
they're better than the
superheroes.
alternative.
Because honestly,
Maybe.
honestly, they're trying to
Probably.
Wait, and they're also trying to pitch in the form of realism too. Your real heroes and your real villains aren't the most perfect forms. Like what we see in superhero movies and supervillain movies are like stitched together, clean cut.
Like Captain America is not realistic.
Exactly. His will.
Steve Rogers is not realistic. He's a fucking person.
Whatever that time where
Nope,
he held
nope.
Hydra.
Another piece that I had an issue with is, and I know they're trying to tell this whole boy meets girl story in here, but that's another.
Please.
Wait. But that's another. But that's another piece that's kind of dispelling the belief in this reality that they're trying to build. Like him and Sparkle Girl keep trying to
Starlight?
whatever.
Citizen Star.
Oh my God. Okay. two things about that Starlight and Billy shit. I'm sorry, Huey, whatever. Two things about that. The first one is, I'll say this, I gotta give it to Huey, even though that was some weak sex, it was a better sex scene than what Billy had. How the hell you gonna let Huey have a better sex scene, and I say better as if it was something great, but at least he had a bit.
And I'm pretty sure he showered before he dove in, as it
We
were.
kind of realized she came with her eyes.
And two, and I know everybody's about to get up in arms in this. I almost turned off the fucking TV when they went to that diner and she told that story. And she was like, every week my daddy would sneak me to Dunkin' Donuts. Because my mom wouldn't let me have donuts before.
I mean-
Do you see why? Because they were Dunkin'. And there was no Krispy Kreme where you were.
Wait, I thought you were talking about the situation. You just don't like Dunkin'.
Fuck Dunkin' Donuts.
Fuck Dunkin' Donuts.
And fuck Church of Chicken.
No, I'm gonna throw you. Fuck Baskin Robbins.
Exactly. And then
That was a big, hold on,
Mother's Milk talking about.
Then those bitches had me nerve confused like that was gonna help. Well, Mother's Milk.
That felt like blatant proportion. And then Mother's Milk comes behind. My pops on Sunday every day. You know, we used to go to Baskin Robbins, yo, son, and he get all 31 flavors.
Thank you for telling me how much of a scrub your dad his cheap, broke ass would stand in line sampling all the flavors. Nobody eats mint chocolate chip.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't care what kind of lesson you telling. I would have told that story. Or I would have changed it.
Now,
It would have been like, my mom took me to Kroger.
Now back to you and Sparkles and Sprinkles. Like the fact that they're trying to live this star-crossed lovers thing and the situation that's going on, and I like the fact that Mother's Milk is like, look, you playing around, you better get her ass killed.
Exactly.
And that will almost happen when Homelander rolled up on us like,
In the elevator.
bitch, who you been talking to?
And see, that's the thing, like, to my point, that's padding. I don't want to see.
So, I think
Homelander being aggressive. Well,
No, that shit is
he's
fun.
aggressive.
I'm talking about Huey. I'm talking about the Huey and Starlight shit.
So here's my thing.
We
The
gonna
only-
sit here and pretend like they didn't just have missionary sex. But keep going.
and you and I both know he kept his tiny whities on and he stuck it.
Oh, he stuck it.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, I feel we were talking about it being padding and that, you know, no one really cares to see Huey and Starlight. I get what they were trying to do because they're trying to, you know, maintain some sense of normalcy with everything that's going on. But at the same time, it's just like...
It's unrealistic.
And you two are just boring.
And let me tell you,
Exactly.
and the only thing it served is because they had to go to Don Lewis's house to get the information. But what really irked me and what really cemented it to me as padding is at the beginning of the shit, she was like, let me go, please. I got family in South Carolina. And then they get back and she's like, Huey, we can't do this anymore. It's like, you invited yourself on the trip.
Like, you
then-
shed some tears
then-
because you
You
didn't
should
want
have
to
stayed here and boxed with
And
Homelander.
then Mother's Milk let you go because he simps as usual. But I guess he only did because he got tired of simping for what's his name. So I guess I'll give Huey one.
Hey, you bring out a great point about Mother's Milk. Like, he always seems to boss up at random ass times. Like, okay, you feel like, okay, maybe you could beat some ass, but he always placates for other characters.
Yeah, like he was so like every 10 minutes before Billy came back, he was like, I'm gonna beat Huey's ass. Like, I know you ain't been talking to that girl. And then Billy came back and he was like, hey guys, William's home.
Like you guys
What the fuck?
like you guys know that Billy openly abandoned you guys multiple times. And I asked this question before to you, Ashley. What does Billy the Butcher bring to the table?
He brings crazy.
Yeah, that and basically he brings up the risk because he presents himself as a man who has nothing to lose.
No, seriously.
And so he brings to the table is that, oh, I have this wild ass idea, but you know, I'm the guy with the wild ass ideas.
Well, here's the thing: his wild ass ideas haven't propelled him anyway.
Yeah, it hasn't worked. They've only killed one super.
And the only super that they killed was because of Huey.
Exactly.
So again, I asked the question:
Well,
what does he
killed
bring?
Mesmer.
Huh?
Killed Mesmer.
Who the hell is Mesmer?
Mesmer, the dude that could read your mind by touching you.
Oh, that don't count.
He said a super,
It
not.
was a suit.
No, he killed a defenseless man. Like I can make a.
I could have killed Meth.
Like, I'm sorry, I got the ability to turn the light switch on and somebody shoots me in the forehead.
And more importantly, he didn't kill a member of the Seven. Huey killed a member of the Seven.
He killed an indestructible member of the.
And I would argue he killed the one that would have been the hardest to kill
Yeah.
outside of
All right,
Homelander.
I agree. But the question was, why is everyone so eager to follow Butcher? Is because he presents himself as the leader and the person who has all the ideas and the person who can basically get the shit done.
He couldn't lead shit to the floor if it fell out of his ass.
And I think we're slowly realizing, well, getting to the point where they're all realizing that too.
They didn't realize that
Because-
when he abandoned it.
Really not, because Frenchie went and called him, but then MM was like, you know,
And that's what
Huey-
hurt me. It would have been one thing if Billy just showed up randomly out of nowhere, but this motherfucker called Billy,
No.
which means he knew, which means he had Billy's number.
John, let me get
and
this.
also a thing about
Which means
Frenchie.
Billy made
You know that this dude can move shit with his mind.
Mhm.
You know that. So you're gonna leave stuff in the room that he can move?
First of all,
like if I,
Because that makes absolute sense.
I'm still confused on if that was blatant promotion or not. Cause he's like, here, drink some drink or whatever. And then he's like,
Yes.
all right,
And like leaves it across the room.
all right, I'm going.
He was trying to make him talk, but you know he has telekinesis. Why?
Exactly.
Look, it's on Amazon. I gotta make money.
hold up. First of all,
According to Christian, they broke.
First of all,
Hey, y'all.
wait, wait, wait.
You not Netflix. You not Hulu. You not even Spotify. Yeah, I know what I said.
And first of all, and Frenchie is the one with all the henchmen and the dudes and the underworld contacts, which is why I was trying to get to why I need Billy. But one more thing I have to point out, and this God, Billy, the bitch fit he threw when Huey's idea actually worked. And they was like, oh my God, look, he got us on the ground. We blowing up. And Billy was like, my penis is still bigger. And I was like,
I could have did it better.
I was like, are you fucking serious?
It's just like he just did something that
And
you
then
kind of
exactly.
accomplished for years, and you're still gonna like.
And what happens? Mother Milk goes over, gives him a hand job. You're still the best on the We can't do nothing without you.
Which is why I hollered at the end of episode 4 when she left his ass. I was like, ha! That's what you get. Now go sleep in the trash can.
All right, guys. As you
Don't feel sorry.
I think if they had another,
Yeah, the
Three.
voting clears for season 3. And Jensen Ackles from Supernatural is gonna
He's
be
gonna
in
be
it.
Soldier
and
Boy.
if they don't play Soldier Boy when he come out in modern times, I'm gonna be pissed. It's just like Vought to do that. Be like, he came back from time, everybody. Soldier Boy, he walk out and you hear Soldier Boy. It's just like Vought.
Because Soldier Boy is not a thing, right?
It don't matter.
It'll be
It
a
don't
thing.
matter. It's Vought. They would be like, how do we jazz this up?
First of all-
Because one of the things that I say is that I think it's a positive, but we only ever get a little bit of it. When they're doing like their promotional bullshit and they have like their people come in and they're like, okay, and then like the waves crest and then the Seven are standing there and the sun shining in the background. Boom, the end. I like those characters. You know they're gonna do that. They're gonna be like, okay, how do we make Soldier Boy look good in modern times? Ooh, he comes out and he crip walks and Soldier Boy is playing. So we'll call Soldier Boy on the line the rapper, not the superhero.
But that's the thing I like about the show is that that the corporate and privatization and how it's literally controlling the world in the way we think, and that everything is just a mask that they share to the rest of the world like propaganda. So that's just one. Like I like when they do that because it shows that the heroes aren't even people; they're just products. But you know what? That like we said, there's been plenty of goods and plenty of bads across the aisle with just the first 4 episodes, and we have 4 more to go. So far, where it's heading, some of us like it, some of us don't. But you know, you guys weigh in. What are your favorite parts? What are the parts that didn't agree with you or couldn't settle on your stomach, or that you just couldn't take, like Bill the Butcher? So going forth, we hope that the show keeps on continuing and progressively gets better. But you know, we've seen Arrow.